Is there anything a Marvel fan loves more than going mad over the nostalgic nod, Easter eggs, and references to previous films or comics? Yeah, just more madness. And in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, we expect to find even more multiversal madness than in Multiverse of Madness. Let's jump to these 16 things we can find in the movie and go even more insane. Warning, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen the movie. First, in this movie, we discovered something about Gwen that is actually part of her comic book history. She's a drummer for the rock band called the Mary Janes, which includes Mary Jane Watson, Glory Grant, and Betty Brant. All the characters we know from Spider-Man universe, but with different backstory here. If this happened in the 616th universe, it would be like all of Spidey's past catching up to him. The second is a very small reference where J.K. Simmons has once again taken the role of J. Jonah Jameson. It appears that this actor is the ultimate abdominant of the character across all the universes. Moving on, the movie contains several nods to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One example is when Miguel O'Hara references Doctor Strange and his little nerd, which is clearly a reference to the events in Spider-Man No Way Home. Moving on to the fourth Easter egg we were able to find out was that Miles' roommate is playing a video game, specifically the one for Spider-Man 2 by Insomniac Games, which as you may already know has yet to be released. The villain who turned the multiverse in the previous film, Spot, makes an appearance in the movie. In fact, he visits the world of Venom where we can spot Mr. Chen running her convenience store just as we saw in the Venom movie. Moving on to number 6, Gwen's extensive travels lead her to uncover what we already know happens to her character in the main storyline. She falls in love with the Peter Parker and meets a tragic end at the hands of Green Goblin. This happens in almost every reality, and in those reality, neither Miles Morales nor Gwen possesses any kind of superpowers. Despite common assumptions, the name of the character Spider-Man 2099 does not derive from the reality he exists in. It actually refers to his universe, which is designated as 928. This number serves as a nod to the fact that he comes from the future, specifically the year 2099. This character is the one who reveals the composition of the multiverse, and the hologram shown at the beginning displays a bright blue timeline with branching realities very similar to what was previously seen in the MCU's Loki series. The multiversal timeline also appears in the post-credit scenes of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The movie also showcases the expansive web of life and destiny that connects all the various versions of Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. This multiversal concept is directly inspired by the original Marvel comics. Moving on to the 10th Easter egg, which is about Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, who is a part of the Spider-Man lineup and is played by Andy Samberg, providing a much more comedic spin on the character compared to the original comics. This Peter Parker clone is one of the most peculiar story arcs the character has undergone in the comics. After discovering his origins as the clone and renouncing his villainous ways, he takes on the name of Ben Reilly and becomes another Spider-Man. The reason for this edgier character is likely due to the cultural trends of the 90s and 2000s when many people were seeking a more edgy style. Moving on to number 11. Miles Morales finds himself in what seems to be the training area of Spider People. This area has a combat area to fight iconic Spider-Man villains from the Sinister Six and other enemies from the character's past. One of the cardboard cutouts representing his enemies is Dr. Octopus, specifically the version played by Alfred Molina in Spider-Man No Way Home, who famously greeted Peter with the new iconic line, "Hello Peter," upon entering the multiverse. We also have the return of Donald Glover, who previously made a cameo appearance in the MCU as Aaron Davis in Spider-Man Homecoming, playing the role of Miles Morales' uncle. In this movie, we also see him in the supporting role, but we now know that his character is destined to become the Prowler. Peter B. Parker becomes the father of a mischievous little girl who he and Mary Jane have named Mayday Parker. In honor of Aunt May, of course, Mayday also has a comic book history and eventually grows up to become Spider-Girl. There is a scene where futuristic monitors display video evidence showing Miles Morales accepting the idea that Spider-Man cannot save everyone. The monitors showcase various instances across the multiverse where Spider-Man had to witness traumatic events as part of canon event. One of the most notable scenes is not just from an animated Spider-Man character but from the 2002 film Spider-Man featuring Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker mourning the loss of Uncle Ben. During Miles' epic escape, we see the appearance of Spider-Man from the Spectacular Spider-Man, the 2008 animated show, also as the part of the canon event. It is shown that one of the police captains close to Peter Parker always ends up dying, and this time it's Captain George Stacy. This is an interesting addition because we never got to see this in the series as it was cancelled when Disney acquired all the rights. Last but not the least, when Miguel O'Hara calls upon the variants to stop Spider-Man to stop Miles from escaping, it leads to a playful recreation of the famous internet meme in which three versions of Spider-Man are seen pointing to each other. These were the 16 things that drove us crazy in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and wow, it is the best Marvel movie to date. We simply can't wait any longer for the next part of this true multiverse of madness, and I will probably end up spending every penny to watch it again and again and again until Beyond the Spider-Verse is finally released. It is going to be an amazing trip. See you next time.